Okay, so far we've learned a lot about circles this unit. We've learned about chords, we've learned about tangent lines, we've learned about secants, we've learned about the angles that are formed when they intersect, the segments that they've formed when they intersect. The only thing that we still need to learn is about the equation of a circle and how to find it. And that's today in geometry. All right, so let's talk about the equation of a circle. So the first thing we're going to do is let's take a circle. This one will have a radius of 5 units. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Now let's find a point on a circle. Maybe this one, -4, -3. So the radius would still be 5 units. And in addition to just knowing that because it's a radius, we also could know that by using the distance formula in this case, where we just go -4 squared plus -3 squared. And that ends up becoming 16 plus 9, which is 25. And the square root of 25 is 5. So there we go. And we could have done the exact same thing to any points on the circle. All 7 of these. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Boom. So all of these would have, in this case, 3 4s because these are all 3, 4, 5 triangles. But that's the idea. And I could have taken in other points, but how can I put this? I don't like weird numbers, and I didn't want to just go with the 0, 5s. Although 0, 5 also works with this. So here's the equation of a circle. It's basically the Pythagorean theorem because we were dealing with right triangles. X squared plus y squared instead of a squared plus b squared equals r squared. So there we are, because the radius was, in this case, the hypotenuse. All right, so let's try graphing a circle and see what it goes. So in this case, it says x squared plus y squared equals 49. So to find it, we go the square root of 49. That is 7. And we're starting from the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And finally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And sure enough, 7. There we are. And let's draw it out. There we are. That's the circle. All right. What if I instead gave you the circle and I asked you to find the equation? So what I would need to do there is find the radius. So from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. And that is a radius of 3, meaning x squared plus y squared equals 3 squared, which means x squared plus y squared equals 9. All right, let's try this circle instead. Okay. Who put this circle in? So this circle doesn't have its center at 0, 0. So even though I can actually see that the radius is 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't really do anything with it. It'll equal 16. But I need to first figure out, what do I do if the center isn't the origin? So what would we do if the circle, moved? Well, the radius is still 5 units. And so if I went with that red point, for instance, the distance formula would still work. In this case, the red point is at 0, -5. And then I would subtract out the center. The center is at 4, -2. So 0 minus 4 squared plus -5 minus -2 squared. That gets us -4 squared plus -3 squared. Once again, 16 plus 9, 25. Square root of 25 is 5. So what you can see is we can still do this, and it would work the same with all of these. We just have to take the center of the circle into account. And so what we have to do is we have to take that same equation of a circle that we just did, but we have to expand it with the center of HK by just subtracting out that center. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared, and that's still going to equal the radius squared. So back to our question that we had right here. I like to sometimes, if I'm having trouble, just go, okay, here's our x value right here. This is our center. That's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then our y value is going to be right around here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. So our center in this case is 5, 5. And we've already talked about that the radius is 4. So I just do x minus the x value plus y minus the y value equals, in this case, 4 squared, which is not 14, 16. So there we go. Let's try this again. So in this case, I'm actually going to graph the circle. So what I need to do first is I need to know my center. My center in this case is, let's see, x minus 2 is, so that's positive 2, y minus 3, y plus 3, that's actually a negative 3. So remember, it's the opposite. If we have a minus 2, it becomes positive 2. A plus 3, negative 3. And our radius is going to be the square root of 4, so our radius is 2. So I go in, and I'm just going to 2, negative 3 with a radius of 2. And let's graph it. There we are. Okay? So now here's a... And once again, I have to teach you all something extra. And for this, we have to remind ourselves or learn how to complete the square. So here we go. Completing the square is a process that's used to transform an equation. In algebra, it's actually used largely to solve like quadratic equations by finding square roots. And we will use it to find the equation of a circle. But first, I'm going to, rather than having two different variables, just use this trinomial here to give you the basic process. So step 1 is that we have to move our constant to the other side of the equation. So we subtracted c. Now, the thing is, we have to actually turn this x squared plus bx into a perfect square. And so what we do there is we take the b value and we divide it by 2. So x squared plus bx plus b over 2, and we square it. So, and then, but since we added it to one side of the equation, we have to do it to the other. Then we just factor, and this ends up being x plus b over 2 squared each time. And then that's really about it. So let's complete the square just to make sure that we know how. So what we would do is we take 12 over 2 squared, meaning this would be x squared minus 12x. Sorry, negative 12 over 2, but that's still just negative 6 squared. And so that becomes plus 36. All right, let's try one more. So in this case, this becomes 2 over 2 squared, which just is x squared plus 2x. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. All right, so let's try it again on here. So to do that, though, we actually have to do the same process. And it's only slightly different when we have our second variable. So we're going to actually do basically the same thing just twice. So over here, this becomes x squared plus 2x plus, in this case, remember that is 2 divided by 2 squared. And then we have to do the same thing. So plus, and then I'm going to say y squared minus 6y plus negative 6 over 2 squared. And that's going to equal 6 and then plus 2 over 2 squared plus negative 6 over 2. We are running out of space here. Squared. Okay, so right here, this ends up becoming, just to confirm, x squared plus 2x plus 4, this becomes, sorry, not plus 4. I just squared 2 instead of squaring 2 divided by 2, or 1. So this becomes plus 1. Over here we have y squared minus 6y plus negative 6 over 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. And that's going to equal 6. And we have to do the same, plus 1 plus 9. Okay, so let's see. So over here, first we're factoring this. Numbers that multiply to be 1 and add up to be 2 is 1 and 1. So this becomes x plus 1 squared plus numbers that multiply to be 9, 3 and 3, but add up to be negative 6 is negative 3 and negative 3. So minus 3 squared, and that's going to equal, in this case, 16. Because 6 plus 1 is 7, 7 plus 9 is 16. All right, so that's our formula. So x plus 1, y minus 3. So our center in this case is negative 1, positive 3, negative 1, positive 3, and our radius is the square root of 16. So 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And there we go. That's our circle. Let's try it one more time just to make sure that we know how to do it. So in this case, let's see. So I'm going to do, this is x squared minus 4x, and then plus, in this case, let's see, so half of 4, so negative 4 over 2 squared, and then plus, in this case, y squared plus 8y. Oh wait, I forgot to do something here. I actually can't simplify this just yet because I have the 5. So I'm going to move that 5 over by adding 5 first. So now I have x squared minus 4x plus y squared plus 8y. And that's going to equal 0. So now let's break that down again. X squared minus 4x plus negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2 squared. And then we're going to add y squared plus 8y plus half of 8 is 4 squared. And that's going to equal, not 0, that's going to equal 5 plus 2 squared plus 4 squared. So this becomes x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus y squared plus 8y plus 16. And that's going to equal 5 plus 4 plus 16. So what we end up getting here is x plus 2 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 25. Meaning our center is once again at negative 2. Oh wait, sorry. I made a mistake here. This should be x minus 2. So now let's try that again. Our center is at positive 2, negative 4, and our radius is, in this case, Square root of 25 is 5. So, positive 2, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. And that's it. That's how we find the equation of a circle, or how we graph based off of the equation of a circle. And with that, the only thing left to say for this whole unit, other than maybe a review video, is like and subscribe. Seriously, please. And also, maybe comment and hit the bell for notifications too. That's really all. I don't ask too much. Just please do that. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.